Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode from the Paperhats Survival Multiplayer server. My name is Glitch. It's another gorgeous day here in the land of Wildewood, and I am just itching to get going on today's projects. With that being said, well, like I said in the last episode, I've got a lot of plans for this season, but I also realized that I've got more than a few challenges ahead of me. So I'm realizing I'm going to have to pick my battles wisely to make this season go smoothly. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do, I spent a little time off camera just working on interior stuff to just pretty up the house a little bit. But one of the things I wanted to make sure I did was to, well, I have a habit of starting a starter house and then never finishing a starter house. And I wanted to, well, begin things off a little different this season. So to that end, the first battle I wanted to pick was with my storage system. Um, for one, I wanted it to look decent. So I spent some time making a kind of a storage basement. Just because I've got my bamboo, I've got my sugarcane farm, and I had that horrible conglomeration of chests over here. I spent, oh, it felt like hours organizing thing. It's not perfect, it's not automated, but it at least lets me know where things like stone and cobblestone, wood, some of the other basic things like, where do I have my raw materials? Where's my iron? Where's my redstone stuff? Just to get it somewhere where I can find it. I also made sure to set things up so that I can have some lava in cauldrons so I can have kind of never-ending supply of fuel for furnaces. Um, I even went and set up a little redstone workshop just so I could play around with the new crafter block, and it's been kind of fun just experimenting, learning its mechanics, and I don't know, treating it kind of like the glitch cave in the garage. um, I also went ahead and set up a little AFK bunker in here just for safety's sake. Just so that if I'm here and I'm AFKing for the wool farm or either of these two farms, I can just be in there, take my gear off, and basically be in a safe place. So that has the storage battle off to a decent start. Yes, I am fully aware that I am going to have to do a better storage system down the road, but at least for now, I know where my stuff is. And that is a first. But the next battle I think I need to fight is, well, partially already fought. You've probably noticed by now that I'm wearing an elytra. Between episodes, the Paper Hats got together and they fought the dragon and they opened the end. You'll note said they did this. Because of work commitments, I wasn't able to be there for the fight. And that kind of left me with the idea of end raiding and bridging over the void, and just no. Um, I've said it many a times before, but something about the bridging over the void just triggers my fear of heights, and I don't know why. So I decided this season to basically give myself the gift of not having to bridge over the void and to let my pickaxe do the work and, well, to just buy my first set of wings. Like I said, picking my battles. With that being said, there is one component to the storage battle that, well, it still needs to be there. I could really use some shulker boxes. And since I've never had a problem flying over the void, it's time to do a little end busting to get some shulker boxes to get my stuff a little more in order. So I'm going to grab some food, some gear, and let's head out and see what's out there. I don't like how this is organized. This just doesn't seem safe. Alright, what do I want? Those. Here is a city. And are there any... Take that. North and west. All right, onward. Heading north. I think at this point I can get away with... Whoa! Bye! Oop, this looks like it has promise. Okay, there's a shelter there, and the dragon head is still there. So, that likely means that I can just run in here. Bingo. And a spare set of wings. Dragon head acquired. Okay. Grab this one. Whoa, sniping me, huh? Oh, thank heavens. Oh, that's right. We got this janky end island. Okay. Yeah, this season's end island is just... wow. But nonetheless, it's time to head for home. And I'm back. And I have to say, I only hit up a couple of cities there, but that actually went a lot better than I was originally anticipating. Now, one of the nice parts is that because I took a couple of chests with me in my ender chest, I could make a couple of shulker boxes on the fly. And I have to say, the loot wasn't bad. I mean, I've got a decent amount of backup gear. In fact, looking at this, I almost can just put mending on this, and I've got a spare silk touch. And then also, I prefer a silk touch shovel. So if I combine these two, uh, basically I'll have what I want there. Almost got a complete set of horse armor and an extra saddle, and of course, got a little bit of extra loot there and some miscellaneous blocks. But the important part is that although I also got a couple of decent swords, and well, this one's actually really good, except for the fact that I don't like knockback. But that being said, I got a couple of decent backup swords, a couple of decent backup, some decent backup gear, and also some course fruit so I can make more end rods. But the most important thing is, I did get a dragon's head, which is going to go on the front of the MAV Genesis here in just a moment. Was able to get a spare set of wings, and I was able to get a whole bunch of shulker shells, which has allowed me to clean it, for the most part, clean up my ender chest, and also get the usual two suspects going with the powder keg for my rockets and the red kit for the redstone. But since I do need to get that spare elytra enchanted, I think before I move on to the next part of my plan, I'm going to pop back over to the village and buy a set of books to go on that spare elytra. So let's head out. Okay. My portal to the village is up here on the roof. Let's go ahead and hop on through. Grab the books. And wait, what? What? Patches? What in the world? Patches, where have you been, kitty? Where's everybody else? You don't know, do you? Oh, well, Patches, I'm so glad you found me. Yeah, well, I guess I have to grab some books and, grab my cat and, head back to Spawn to, so I can work on, the next part of our plan. So, Patches, let me grab some stuff and, let's head for home. Okay, now that I'm back and I've got my cat, safely tucked away upstairs, it's time to move on to the next part in the plan for today. Now, like I said earlier, I wanted to get my self organized a little bit. I've still got a good bit of loot left over from my end raid and some shulker shells that I can use for more shulker boxes. I did want to get, of course, a rocket box and a redstone box going. That way I have two of the most important things set up. I did take a little time off camera to kind of come up with the basic shulker boxes that I'm going to need to get started. I made up a treasure box basically just for some of the fun. Came across a ship and found a armor trim that I'll put on later. Did find a couple of regular diamond ore, which, as rare as they are, well, I wanted to keep those. And the rest of the stuff I honestly bought from uh, McShaden's shop over on the over by his base. Made up a mining box. Basically, right now it's mostly for carrying charcoal and sticks, so I can make torches on the fly. And well, let's be frank, you can never have too much inventory space when you're mining. Made up a rescue box as well with the basics of what I would need should I die out there in the world. With a full set of armor, my spare elytra, some rockets. Um, Notice that I did get a set of Frostwalker boots for during the end raid, which could come in handy down the road. Last up, I made up what I call my adventure box. I figured I always have some kind of a project box of things that I'm going to use as I'm out exploring. And right now, it's set up for a little more resource gathering. You see, one of the things I am going to need going forward is at some point I'm going to need some sponges because of how many flooded caves there are around. And well, there's only one way you can get those and one place you can go. So, I guess it's time to head out and find an ocean monument. Now, this particular location isn't far from my village. In fact, my village is just over that way. Well, actually, it's a good bit looking at the coordinates. But unfortunately, this little island being the closest place to it, it's actually kind of sort of in that direction. It's just a little beyond that little section of ocean. I've got things as prepared as I'm going to be. Tucked all my gear here in the mining box because, well, to be frank, I actually don't have a spare shulker box that I could tuck it all away in. So I'm going to quick put that back into my ender chest. Since I have a Respiration 3 helmet, I'm not really worried about it. I wish I had a Depth Strider, but I have my uh, own method for going into ocean monuments. Get to that in a second. Um, I went ahead and made up a couple of doors because they are useful for one, blocking the Guardian attacks, and two, for a quick air pocket. Also did some brewing and got myself some invisibility potions, some night vision potions, and some water breathing potions. The night vision and the water breathing may seem obvious, but the invisibility potions is, well, to be perfectly frank, it's been my experience that, well, you can either go into an ocean monument, swords a swinging, or you can take a more sneaky approach. So, well, to be honest, I kind of prefer a mix of the two. You see, generally speaking, what I like to do is if you are using invisibility, as long as you're not wearing all your armor, the Guardians, generally speaking, let you alone. And since I really don't have any decorative plans for this, well, I'm really considering just blowing some stuff up. So let's so I need to quick grab my helmet, make sure the stuff is on my hotbar, and I always like to have my night vision up front keep a spare, and also I've got a bucket of milk for to dispel the mining fatigue once we get there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab some planks. What that does is basically if you and one other important thing, the redstone. If you surround the TNT with blocks and then put a redstone block on top of it, it will activate the TNT. I've only done this once before, so I guess it's time for yeah, me to engage my cooking field. And let's get this started. All right. Now the question always is, are the Elder Guardians still around? Anybody home? Did someone already get them? Well, let's find out. So, oop. Oh, yep, somebody's home. Okay, swim down, grab my redstone. And 3 Elder Guardians. Hello. Aha. Here's one. Okay. Oh, running. That's one. Aha, there he is. They're always in these. Okay. Where's your stuffs? 2 down, 3 to go. 2 down, 1 to go. And fire in the hole. Hi. Thank you, sir. All right. Now, I think I'm going to find a place to hide for a second. Oh, well, got myself a little air pocket here. Drink milk. And now, since they're all gone, I can loot this place in peace. Ah, bingo. All right. That takes care of that. Well, you know what? The extra gold is never a bad thing. All right, boys. Nice seeing you. Okay. So now I've got the shulker boxes I need. I've got the sponges I need. There is just one more thing on the challenge list that, well, gonna take a bit of doing. You see, like I said, I've done some scouting around and, well, we'll get to it as the season progresses, but I have a very strong feeling I'm going to have to be doing a lot of digging. So, to that end, I made up the beacon box. So there's one problem though. I can easily get iron for the beacon. I can get iron to activate the beacon. Presently, I'm just missing the beacon. So it looks like I'm going to have to head out once more and, well, look for the materials to get a beacon going, which means it's time to hunt some wither skellies. Yep. All right, boys, line up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ah! Oh, no. Good. They all fall. My elytra. Food. Boy, that exploded good. And, uh-oh. Go ahead and get rid of the sword. Get rid of water bottle. I think I can. Rid of netherrack. Okay. Take one last look around. To be honest, that did not go as planned. I think I need to go home and do a little more preparing. Okay. 3 potions of fire resistance in hand. 3 more in the adventure box. Alright, time for round 2. Then again, maybe this is another case where I need to let my pick do the work for me and see what I can find in the shopping district. Because to be honest, even with the looting 3 sword, a withered skeleton skull is a relatively rare drop. And I'd like to have a beacon sooner than later. Like I said, picking my battle. So I'm going to pop over to the shopping district and see what I can find. Okay, so here we are in the shopping district. At some point, I do need to set up my own shop, but it does look like someone is selling Wither Skull. So, 9 diamonds for 3 skulls. Done deal. That sounds good to me. So, let me go ahead and I think I'm going to take 1 set for now and 1 set for later. And now that I have the skulls in hand, it's time for the final phase of my plan for today. But this is a case where, well, I don't think I can pick my battles. I think the battle just picked me. So it's time to gather some gear and get this fight started. Okay, so I took this fight way out, kind of near the mining desert, hoping that I won't, well, if this goes sideways, have a wither get loose and, cause a lot of damage on the server. But that being said, I'm as prepared as I can be. I've got my skulls, my soul sand, got a bucket of milk, and I've got a potion of strength to hopefully help me hit him harder. Night vision because, well, when the wither blows stuff up, it will probably destroy my torch trail. And last but not least, fire resistance. I have tried to, and I've sat here with subtitles on, trying to make sure that there's no lava, but just in case I missed it, well, Also brought some eggs out here, and hopefully these 5 will net me a couple of wither roses. But yeah, without further ado, let's get this started. So 1, 2. I had never get that right. Oop, come on. 2. Okay. Ready? Okay, backing off. Let him charge up. Ah! Whoa. Where'd he go? Why is... Whoa! That's not good. What's he going for? Why is he doing that? I have a bad feeling there's a cave up there. Come on. Come on. Yeah, follow me. Okay, now we're in sword mode, so... Come on. Come on. Come here. Come to Papa. One or two more. Maybe one more. Nope. Got it. Whew. Okay. Holy cats, that made way more of a mess than last time. But, yes. Yes, indeed. I did wind up getting my Nether Star. So I think, yeah. It's time to head for home. Well, I'm back at base and it's finally time. After having gathered all the materials, it is now time for me to be the proud owner of a beacon. And since I raided the iron farm and got the stuff, go ahead and plop it down. And we'll go with haste. Yeah. And regeneration. Yes. Now that I have my beacon sorted out, and I've got a bunch of shulker boxes and all the tools and gear that I really need, it's time to, well, get out there and start exploring this world. And I think, as I've traveled around looking for the materials today, that I've come across a place that I would like to make my permanent base. But that is an adventure that's going to have to wait for next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, and also consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. My name is Glitch, and I do hope I'll see you next time for the next episode on the Paperhats Survival Multiplayer server. Thanks for watching.